Function or not a function? That is the question. Paano nga ba malalaman ang given natin ay function o hindi? Alamin ang sagot sa video na to. Hi learners! Today we're going to talk about function. So, ano nga ba ang function? Ang function ay parang isang machine na nag-a-apply ng specific rule sa isang input para makaproduce ng isang unique na output. Halimbawa, kung ang input or x values natin ay 2, 3, at saka 4, tapos yung corresponding output or y values nila ay 6, 9, and 12. Ano sa tingin niyo kaya yung rule na kailangan natin i-apply sa ating mga input para makuha ang kanilang corresponding na output? Okay? So kung sa tingin ninyo kailangan natin i-multiply sa 3 ang bawat input, kayo ay tama. Okay. So ang 2, pag i-multiply natin ng 3 or 2 times 3, makukuha natin ng 6. Ang 3, pag i-multiply or mag-multiply tayo ng 3, makukuha natin ang 9. Ang 4 times 3, makukuha natin ang 12. Sa madaling salita, ang rule natin would be multiply the input by 3. So, in other words, we can write this one in symbols. So we have f of x is equal to 3 times x or 3x. This would be the representation or the function of our example. Now, how about if the rule is given first? So let us say the rule is cube the input, then add 6. So the first thing that we're going to do is to translate this one into symbols or notation. Now, since yung input na nire-refer natin is x, therefore, we're going to consider function of x. That is why we're going to use this notation. F of x or function of x. Okay. So, we're going to interpret this one. Sabi sa rule is cube the input. Therefore, if we're going to write that one into symbols, the answer will be x cubed. So again, yung x natin is yung input or yun yung nagre-represent na input natin. Then, add 6. Therefore, we're going to have f of x is equal to x cubed plus 6. Now, we have the rule, we have the notation. Let us try writing all the inputs or the possible inputs, and pag nabigay natin yung mga inputs, ano kaya yung corresponding outputs? Okay. In this case, kayo bahala kung ano yung number na gusto nyong i-substitute. Halimbawa, let us say x is equal to 1 or we let x is equal to 1. This would be our first input. Okay. Kung 1 yung input natin, ano kaya yung magiging output? So, we're going to write again the formula or the rule. So that is f of x is equal to x cubed plus 6. We're going to substitute 1 to the value of x. It will become f of 1 is equal to 1 cubed plus 6. So remember, once you are going to substitute value of x, simply replace the values of x, then just copy everything. Okay? Yung sa binigay na expression. Then let's solve. So 1 cubed, what does it mean? It means we're going to multiply 1 by itself 3 times. So that is 1 times 1 times 1. Then the answer is still 1. So you have 1, then bring down positive 6. Simplify it further, we will have 7. So ano itong 7? 7 now is our output. Therefore, our x value na 1 corresponds or will give us y value which is equal to 7. And this is our first ordered pair. Okay? So again, let's have another example. Suppose the value of x is, let's try 4. Okay. So, sulat natin ulit. Then substitute 4 to the value to the value of x, or as the value of x. So we will have f of 4 is equal to 4 cubed plus 6. Okay. Ano ibig sabihin ng 4 cubed? That is 4 times 4 times 4. So 4 times 4 is 16 times 4. You will have 64. 64 plus 6 is equal to 70. 70 is our output if our input is 4. So our ordered pair would be what? Our ordered pair would be 4, 70. Okay? Let's have last example or last input. Let us say the input is 5 or the value of x is 5. So f of x is equal to x cubed plus 6. X now becomes 5. F of 5 is equal to 5 cubed plus 6. Okay. So you will have 5 cubed is 125 plus 6, that would be equal to 131. Okay. So the ordered pair or the last ordered pair would be 5, 131. Now, remember, in this case, pwedeng kayo ang mag-decide kung ano yung input. So, pinapakita lang natin kung ito yung mga particular mga inputs, ano yung mga corresponding na outputs nila. Now, let's try to observe the ordered pairs. Ano yung mapapansin natin sa kanilang x values? So, the x values are unique, right? Now, those unique x values also produces unique values of y. Okay? So, in other words, a function is a relation in which no two term has the same x coordinate. Now, how are we going to determine if the given is a function or not? So, we have three ways. The first way is examining the ordered pairs. Second is using vertical line test. And the third one is through inspection. Method number 1, examining the ordered pairs. So again, we have to remember that a function is a relation in which no two ordered pairs have the same x coordinate. Now, I have here three examples. So ano sa tingin niyo or saan dito kaya yung nagre-represent ng function? Saan naman yung hindi nagre-represent ng function? Okay. So we're going to use method 1, which is examining the ordered pairs. So gaya ng sabi sa definition natin, ang function daw dapat walang ordered pairs na magkaparehas or same ang x coordinate. Okay. So let's have example number 1. F is equal to, the function of f, we have the following ordered pairs 2, 2, 5, 8, 3, 2, and 0, 8. Let's focus on the x coordinates. We have 2, 5, 3, and 0. So, since lahat ng x coordinates niya ay unique, therefore, number 1 represents a function. Now, how about number 2? The function of x, or the set of function h. We have 1, 0, 1, 6, 2, 16, and 2, 5. Let's focus on the x coordinates. Now, since meron tayong dalawang 1 at saka dalawang 2, at lumabag siya dun sa rule natin na dapat walang magkaparehas na x coordinate. Therefore, ang number 2, it does not represent a function. So this is not a function, or it does not represent a function. How about the last one? We have 1, 2, 2, 4, 3, 6, and 4, 8. By looking or examining the x coordinates, we can say that number 3 represents a function. Method number 2, vertical line test. A graph represents a function if and only if each vertical line intersects the graph at most once. Okay, for example number 1. Kung ito yung graph natin, itong red line, then we're going to draw infinite numbers of vertical lines. Dapat tatama lang siya or intersect lang siya sa line or sa graph ng at most 1 point. Okay, let's draw now the vertical line. As you can observe, yung vertical lines natin ay nag-intersect sa graph at most once. Therefore, this graph represents a function. How about number 2? This is a graph of a parabola. Now, let us draw the vertical lines. As you can observe, the vertical lines or each vertical line intersect the graph at most once or hindi dapat lumampas ng isa. Sa madaling salita, itong graph na to, itong pangalawang graph ay nagre-represent ng function. How about the third one? Let's draw now the vertical lines. Now, pansinin nyo yung isang vertical line. Let us say this one. This vertical line intersects the graph twice. This point here and this point here. Therefore, this graph does not represent a function. How about the next one? Is this a function? Okay, this graph represents a function. How about the next example? Does this graph represent a function? Of course not. This graph does not represent a function. The next graph also does not represent a function. And how about the last graph? The last graph represents a function. Method number 3, through inspection. Let us say the instruction is to determine whether the equations represent y as a function of x. So I have here 3 examples or 3 equations. We're going to determine which of this equation represent y as a function of x. Example number 1, we have y minus x squared is equal to 0. Now, it would be very convenient if we're going to solve for y in terms of x. Anong ibig sabihin yan? Ibig sabihin yan, lahat ng y matitira dun sa left side ng equation at lahat ng x will be transferred to the right side of the equation. Let's have number 1. We have y minus x squared is equal to 0. Solve for y. So, it will become y is equal to x squared, negative x squared will be transposed to the right side of the equation using the addition property of equality. Okay, so you will have y is equal to x squared. Ay, wala na yung 0. Now, we are going to substitute any input or value of x. Tapos titignan natin kung ano yung magiging resulta natin sa y. Let us say x is equal to 2. Okay, what would be the value of our output or the value of y? So y is equal to x squared. This time, yung x papalitan natin ng 2. So, ilalagay natin sa parentheses, that is 2 squared. 2 squared is equal to 4. Y is equal to 4. Therefore, the ordered pair that we have would be 2, 4. Okay, now how about if we're going to substitute, let us say 5 as the value of x. So again, you can substitute any value of x or any inputs. So using the same equation, x now becomes 5. So we have 5 squared. And 5 squared is equal to 25. Therefore, the ordered pair is 5, 25. Now, you can have as many inputs as you want. Okay? Pero okay na rin itong dalawa. So, kung papansinin natin yung dalawang ordered pairs, yung first coordinate nila or yung x coordinate nila ay hindi magkaparehas. Ay going back to our method 1, which ay yung examining the ordered pair, dapat walang x coordinate na magkaparehas. Therefore, number 1, or the first equation, represent y as a function of x. Okay? How about number 2? Again, it would be better or it would be convenient if we're going to solve for y in terms of x. So lahat ng variables or numbers except y, we're going to transpose sa right side ng equation. Therefore, this becomes y. Negative x will be transposed to the right side of the equation. Again, using addition property of equality. So we'll have negative x becomes positive x. Then positive 3, using subtraction property of equality, will be transposed to the right side, will become negative 3. Okay? After transferring all the variables and numbers except y, we can now substitute any value of inputs or any value or values of x. Let us say we have x is equal to 3. So, write the equation. Then, replace x with 3. So, this becomes 3 minus 3. Then, simplify 3 times 3 minus 3 is equal to 0. Therefore, the ordered pair is 3, 0. How about if we're going to let x is equal to, let us say, 7. Okay, write again the equation. Then, substitute natin yung 7 sa place ng x. So, x now becomes 7. So, y is equal to 7 minus 3. Simplify it, we will have 4. Therefore, the ordered pair is 7, 4. Again, you can have as many inputs as you want, or you can use as many x values as you want. Pero okay na rin yung dalawa. So, papansinin natin yung x coordinates nila. Since the x coordinates produces a unique y values, or sa madaling salita, walang magkaparehas na x coordinate, therefore, number 2, or the second equation, represent y as a function of x. Check. How about the last one? The last one, we have y squared minus x is equal to 1. Again, we're going to transpose variables and numbers to the right side of the equation. So, y squared will remain on the right side of the equation. Negative x becomes positive x. Then, since ang 1 nasa right side na ng equation, we simply bring it down. So, we have positive 1. Okay. Let us say we have x is equal to 3. What will be the value or values of y? So, y squared is equal to 3. 3 plus 1. Y squared is equal to 4. So, dapat masolve natin yung value ng y. So, since we have an exponent of 2 sa y, therefore we're going to square root both sides of the equation. Okay. So, square root the left side and also square root the right side. So, 2 will be cancelled out as well as the radical sign. So, matitira sa left side would be y. Now, sa lesson nyo about quadratic equation, quadratic function, if we have the value, or we have here square root of 4, how many roots do we have? Okay, so we have 2 roots. The first root or the principal root would be the positive 1, and the other root would be the negative 1. So, pwede natin siyang lagyan ng plus, minus sign. Okay, so what would be the roots? The first root would be, can have is y sub 1, positive 2, and the second root will have, or will be, negative 2. Okay? So, based sa binigay natin na input, itong input na 3 or yung x value can produce or will produce 2 y values. So, we can write now 2 ordered pairs. The first ordered pair is 3 positive 2, and the second ordered pair is 3 negative 2. Now, what can we observe with their x coordinate? 3 and 3. Okay. So again, we're not concerned with the value of y. We're concerned with the x coordinate. Focus tayo dun sa x coordinate. Since the x coordinates are the same, so nalabag niya yung rule or yung definition ng function. Therefore, number 3 this equation does not represent y as a function of x. So and that's a wrap. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel, and feel free to comment your math problems, and we will do our best to provide solution to it. Because remember, every problem has its solution. At kung ang problema nyo ay math, ako ang kaagapay ninyo, ako ang Sir Ninyo.